This is shocking. Experiment reveals microplastics in every human semen sample tested. Scientists are finding microplastics in virtually every nook and cranny they inspect in the human body. It's even in our blood. Now, I can imagine it's probably even in our brains. The alarming discoveries are now stacking up with such speed, there's barely any time to let the news sink in before another part of our anatomy joins the list of contaminated sites. Shortly after, researchers in the US confirmed that microplastics had infiltrated the tissue in human testicles, researchers in China have now detected the pollutants in sperm as well. The team found microscopic fragments of plastic in every sample of seminal fluid supplied by 36 male participants from inland China. Polystyrene, PS particles, were the most abundant type found, making up nearly a third of the plastic identified in the average sample. Researchers are not sure, but they suspect that the polystyrene, polyethylene, and PVC fragments had initially been ingested or inhaled. Once the pollutant enters the bloodstream, they could have crossed the blood-testis barrier into the seminal vesicles. Researchers also noticed a spectrum of abnormal sperm cells swimming in the seminal fluid alongside the plastic fragments. Worryingly, many of these cells were short, bent, coiled, or had irregular tails, with some seeming to have trouble moving properly. And while these observations are compelling, the establishment of a direct causal link between microplastic exposure and sperm aberrations is still forthcoming. The health effects of microplastics in the human body are currently unknown, but their potential for reproductive toxicity has scientists concerned. Today, sperm counts are falling at increasingly faster rates around the world, and while scientists still don't fully understand why that is, chemical pollution has been tied to the effect. In roughly 40% of men, the production of sperm is impaired for unknown reasons. Some scientists suspect microplastics are an overlooked contributing factor. Past studies on mice, for instance, have shown that microplastics can damage the barrier that separates the testes from the blood, impairing sperm quality. In these studies where mice were exposed to polystyrene fragments, it led to fewer sperm cells, higher rates of abnormal sperm, and signs of reduced sperm activity. While that holds true for humans remains to be seen, but the results underline the urgent need for increased scientific scrutiny and public awareness. While the sample size of the current study is small, the findings join two other studies from 2023, one in China and one in Italy, that also detected microplastics in human sperm. And in the study from Italy, researchers found that samples of semen with the best quality sperm were also those where no microplastics were detected. Unlike these previous papers, however, the recent results came specifically from individuals who live far from plastic manufacturing facilities and in the coastline. The marine environment, microplastics in the marine environment, but microplastics are thought to accumulate in higher concentrations. This far inland, however, human sperm still seems to soak up remnants of broken down rubbish, indicating an ubiquitous spread of microplastics in the environment. Given how inescapable these pollutants appear to be, researchers in China call for further research into the potential reproductive impacts of microplastic exposure. And this study was published in Science of the Total Environment, and it's on Science Alert by Carly Casella. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.